Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
To you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. Thank God it's Friday. Cecilia, I look forward to Fridays because it prepares us for an action-packed world of sports during the weekend.
That's what it is, and of course, we'll get into the show. Just tell you the highlights of what you'll be expecting on the show tonight. Will be, of course, our countdown to the Africa Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire continues. 29 days to go, and today we'll be taking a look at Group C, the group that has Senegal, Cameroon, the Gambia, and of course, Guinea. You will say that's a very tough group. And of course, Nations Cup trophy, the trophy that will be won next year. It's in Nigeria. Visit Lagos today. We'll be bringing you updates on that. And also touchdown on NPFL games for this weekend. EPL, the games for this weekend is Super Sunday, Liverpool and Manchester United. Manchester United will be traveling to Anfield to see if they can right all the wrongs they've done the past few weeks. 1 win in 5 matches. Not a good one for Eric Ten Hag. And of course, we'll also talk about, yes, the latest FIFA ranking women. Spain are now #1. Yeah, Super Falcons dropping 2 spots, but they retain #1 spot in Africa. I think that position is permanently for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And of course, what else? Yes, we'll be talking about the Special Olympics. Yeah, we'll touch down on Special Olympics, the special kids who go to the Olympics every summer for Nigeria. And we'll not be doing the show alone. We have Okpeyemi Akeode in the building. How you doing?
I'm very well. I mean, we're preparing for a very big weekend, and I'm more particular about games in the NPFL. A lot of big games to look out for. I've been really impressed with what Doma United is doing this season, and then if you look at it, but more impressively, had to be Eyimba. Since the crash start of the continental competition, they picked up gradually, and they're moving really well. A lot to look out for the weekend, Cecilia.
So much to look out for. Okay, Austin, let's start with this one. I mean, the trophy. You know, when you see that trophy, you know that it's almost here. That's what it is, and that's what happened in Lagos today. Once you see that, I didn't know. You know, remember in 2013 when Sibikeshi won it, they brought it to Lagos. Most of us saw it, but you know you cannot touch it because you haven't won it. But when you're not seeing the Nations Cup trophy, you're looking at it. Can the Super Eagles actually win this one? Well, we're still hopeful. I know yesterday I said about how the fact that hey, they may not be able to do it simply because of the crop of players we have and the kind of coach that we have, and so much more about that.
You know, Cecilia, I remember when the World Cup trophy was topped in Nigeria for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and I was asking in the FIFA officials, can we just touch it? Let's just touch it, you know. Sometimes when you see these trophies, they just call you, come touch me, come touch me. And I don't know why they put that silly rule to it that we cannot touch it. Okay, let us sterilize our hands and go touch it so we can just dream. We will never get to be players we need to touch it. So just let us touch it. So, but this is good that the trophy touched down in Nigeria. And it's a clear testament of the power of football that when fans see this trophy, they kind of connect, you know, with it. Yeah. And this trophy right there, you know, symbolizes a lot of things for Africa: peace, unity, collaboration, you know, cohesion, letting people understand that football isn't a tool for any form of division, but to bring the continent together. That's, hey, come, let's do it for the love of the game. You know, that's what it does, you know. And with this now, people know that the AFCON isn't far off. It's just here. Look at the trophy. And we don't know how prepared your country is, but if your country has put in the work, if you guys have sorted out everything you need to sort, you might just be coming back home with a trophy. I heard you yesterday, Cecilia, on the show trying to put out some jabs to Ghana that they haven't won it in a long time. And after the show, someone said, tell Cecilia that the last time Nigeria won it was 2013. I said, yes, she was trying to say it's more recent than Ghana. Yes, Nigeria is due for another AFCON trophy. But can this set of Super Eagles bring this trophy back home? I don't know, Cecilia, it's tough. Maybe you can help, but with everything that I've seen, I just want to protect my blood pressure. You know, I just want to live long. Just to feel the best way I can, but start dreaming that they can bring it back home. It's tough, Cecilia.
Oh, faithless Austin. Just have faith. Come on. I mean, he's thrown that to you. If it's possible for them to actually bring this home, is it a possibility? I mean, we saw fans, taking pictures with the trophy. I mean, Austin was talking about the fact that he wanted to touch it, but if people start touching it, the mystery is gone. The mystery is the fact that it's in a box. You have to earn it to be able to touch it.
Well, I am pretty positive, as every Nigerian should be. And I've always felt like when it comes to tournaments, most African teams always grow into tournaments. It's not like it's a league system. The games are numbered. You play your round of your group stages, round of 16, and then you progress like that. And the moment you come out of your stage, of your group stage, it becomes anybody's game. And I think the most important thing for the Super Eagles is to come out of that group. We're playing against the host nation. We're playing against two different Guinean teams. And then, it depends on that balance. But for me, I think we've got a lot of opportunities to win this AFCON. In terms of the potentials of our players, I mean, look at the last 2 weeks. Look at the number of goals our strikers have put forward. In fact, not just strikers, attacking-minded players. From Alex Iwobi to Victor Osimhen to Victor Boniface to Desaceres to Samuel Chukwueze. I mean, you would say that, well, it's not just about the attack. What about the midfield? What about the defense? But I think the fact that the Super Eagles are coming out, we may think we've not 10 years is a long time, but don't forget that within those 10 years, we didn't go to 2 AFCONs. So I think for me, the Super Eagles are prime, they're ripe, they're good to go for this one. See, whatever complaint we have about whatever department, goalkeepers, coach, we can't do nothing right now. 29 days to AFCON, you can't change your manager. You probably cannot even bring a new goalkeeper into the side. So let's look forward to what we have. Let's be positive, even though I would advise Nigerians to manage the expectations, but we need to expect something from the Super Eagles.
Yeah, we don't want that early exit again. And what happened in the last Nations Cup, the coach was asked to go, then he brought in the head of a technical department of Nigerian football to take the players. Yes, we enjoyed the very best of football at the group stage, but then somehow that was where it ended. Okay, now we know all the teams have actually submitted. The deadline was yesterday. All the teams have submitted the final squad list. This time, the last one was 23, but this time around, CAF, just like what FIFA did, 27 players. So they have opportunity to have 27 players as your final squad list, which is a brilliant one for some of the coaches. Now, let's listen to some of the journalists who are actually there to, try as much as possible to see if they could touch it. Yes, they couldn't touch it, but they have to take pictures with the trophy in Lagos. Let's listen to some of them, how excited they were to see it, and also looking forward to what this means for fans and also Nigeria as a whole as we prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire.
So big because it makes it real, when you talk about the trophy or you talk about the AFCON, people look at it from, a very distant kind of relationship. But when you see it, you can feel it, you can touch it, you can see the prestige, you can see the tradition it has. It's pure gold, pure gold. And countries across the globe, especially in the African divide, they're going to be fighting for this. So it makes it real. It makes you know that this is worth something. And, it brings back all the memory and all that good stuff. So I'm very glad that Lagos got to host this. I'm glad that the new generation of Nigerians got to experience what it means to have a trophy like the CAF AFCON trophy in our midst, and hopefully it gives us the ginger to want to watch and go ham for our team in Nigeria come January when the competition starts. I came here with my son, he's 9, and this is his first time he's seen a trophy. It's not like he's a big football fan, but when he heard about the tradition and everything about it, it passes. It's like oral literature. It passes from generation to generation. The things that we scream about on TV or in the dugout or on the touch side or bleachers, it makes you know that this is what it is about.
The trophy tour to Nigeria, for me, should be an inspiration to Nigerians. It's a trophy that we last see physically here in 2030 when the late Stephen Keshi led Super Eagles to the AFCON in South Africa when he won it in 2013. And that is 10 years ago. So we have not seen that trophy physically. So for me, what the visit of the trophy to Lagos has done to Nigeria is to show us that, look, this is an opportunity for us once again to get our acts together, to go to Côte d'Ivoire and win that trophy and bring it back to the country. The Super Eagles are a team that you hardly can predict, but unfortunately we have a team now that is predictable. I really can't say I'm looking forward to miracles happening in Cote d'Ivoire because we have not had a coach whose impact has changed our football. I keep wondering why we left him when his contract expired, why we had to renew his contract to lead the Super Eagles to the Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire when we can't see what he did in the term that expired. So for that, I have not seen his input, and as the team is going to Cote d'Ivoire to be among the 24 teams that are going to battle for the trophy, my confidence is lacking on that man, on Jose Peseiro. But like some will say, it is when we least expect the Super Eagles to perform. That is when they shock, they surprise us, like they did in 2013 in South Africa. Nobody expected anything from the team. We were almost writing off the team. But Stephen Keshi went to South Africa in 2013 and shocked everybody and surprised us and returned to Nigeria with the trophy, which is a contract opposite of the man who is in charge of the team at the moment. Not just that, we have a team that is populated, that is dominated by players who were not born here, players who do not understand our mentality, how our attachment to our senior national team. Why my head is for Morocco because of what they did at the World Cup. Something tells me that Senegal, who won virtually from under 17, under 20, under 23 to the senior national team, who won virtually all the trophies that were available in Africa, the year that is just under review now. They have not changed their team. They have not changed their coaching staff. That team is still intact. It's between Senegal and Morocco. But something tells me the possibility of Senegal retaining the trophy.
Okay, that's a Duro Group Sports editor. When an editor is talking, you have to listen because he understands the game. Senegal won in 2021, beating Egypt. And of course, you remember what Sadio Mane did in that. Most of these players have moved to the Saudi Pro League, but they are playing in week in, week out. They are banging in goals. So Senegal is a team to be afraid of. Austin, you just listened to Duro, talking about the Super Eagles and also his favorites to win it. I mean, I understand why you said you want to keep your heart. I understand why. I won't call you faithless Austin anymore. But after listening to
but did you see the way Duro started?
Yeah.
That's my man right there.
Yeah.
He started by putting some optimism out there, and then he came back now to say, wait a minute, what am I talking about? We have a coach who doesn't really know this team, who doesn't know how to use this team. So how are we going to execute it? But that's all he could do. He could just believe. But see how realistic he was talking about Senegal. They still have their coach. They still have their team intact. In fact, whoever is coming into that team now will come with double zeal. Otherwise, you cannot stop the guys who are already in the team. That's a country that understands what they're doing with their senior men's national team. Okwemi Akiyode is trying to tell me not to worry about the goalkeeping issue and that there's nothing we can do about it. Then it's like telling me we go to the AFCON without a goalkeeper, Okwemi, or we go to the AFCON with a bad goalkeeper. So what do we do? That's a bad step already. Now we have a defense line that today we will see this combination. The next match we'll see another combination. We have a midfield that we're experimenting with. We have a forward line, yes, that can produce, that can score goals, but they're not getting the feed. There's problem. There is problem. And it all boils down to the leadership quality in the technical crew. We're not seeing them do the things that they need to do. And I started talking about these things, Cecilia, right from the friendlies, because that's your litmus test. Yeah. That's how you look at the team and say, what can they do? They did all they did, got us worried during the friendlies, then came the World Cup qualifiers. You know the rest. Yeah. So where am I getting the faith that you guys expect me to take to the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire? I don't see it. That's what I'm saying. That's what Duro was also trying to say. That's what football followers in the country are trying to say. Fix the small issues that we know. Look at what Leicester is doing with Wilfred Ndidi. It tells you that we have this quality. How do you use them? Oh, clear the forward line. How many goals have they scored? They get prolific when they miss Sao Tome and Principe. Okay, we say bring Lesotho now. Show that you can score goals. Small team, ranked 253 in the world. You couldn't score goals. Problem, Cecilia.
Yeah, we didn't have our star players. Victor Osimhen wasn't there. Chukwueze wasn't there. So I'm trying to just tell you that we didn't have our star players. That's the reason we couldn't beat this. Okay. So, I think we have a different. Maybe the day we're going to talk about the group of the Super Eagles, which is Group A.
Put Imade and Brendan Insurance. Put him to play Lesotho. He will score 5 goals.
Okay.
You don't need Victor Osimhen to play Lesotho.
All right, we're going to move to Group C now. Let's leave the Super Eagles. I know every day we come here to do, countdown to the Nations Cup. Super Eagles will always take the lead because yes, that's our team, and we need to talk about it. So expect football spectacle. All right, let's look to Group C. That's where the brilliance. I mean, footballing brilliance or drama or maybe spectacle. That's what you're going to see in this group because of the teams that you have. You have Cameroon, you have Gambia, you have Guinea, you have Senegal. Now, looking at these teams, and I believe everyone will be looking forward to that heavyweight clash on January 20th. That's when Senegal and Cameroon will be clashing. That's the big one. Now, these teams outside Cameroon and Senegal who have, won and also make several World Cup appearances. Guinea never qualified for the World Cup. Gambia, the same thing. They qualified for the Nations Cup the first time last year. But these are teams you really cannot, underrate. Yeah, taking a look at this group. Just look at Cameroon, Senegal. Which of these teams will make it out of the group or get to the final?
It's tough. If you look at the consistency of the Senegalese national team, they lost, the previous one, AFCON finals, losing to Algeria in the finals. I mean, Riyad Mahrez, Nigeria, remember that spectacular free kick where that knocked out the Super Eagles in the semi-finals, and they're sending Algeria going ahead to win it. But they came back. The most important thing was that they stuck to the crops of the players they had. I brought in a couple of players. And if you look at the progression of Senegal, the under-17, the under-20, the under-23, the senior national team, they've had that level of consistency. The players have grown through the ranks. They've moved from each stage of the competitions, the age grade to the senior team. It's so easy for you to think, oh, it's going to be Senegal. Aside the fact that they're the defending champions, they go into this tournament, to me, as the #1 ranked team in terms of my skill. But of course, there's Cameroon. Hey, they don't call them, what they are for nothing. They don't just, irrespective of what Cameroon have done in a very long time or what they've not done in the African space, they're still going to be Cameroon. So I think both of them will naturally progress. But hey, in the last few years, we've understood that African football operates in a different kind of terrain. It is so unpredictable. You think there are minnows in football. Hey, I mean, you're probably just surprised that Madagascar defeated the Super Eagles of Nigeria 2 AFCONs ago. And so it's difficult for you to think, because Gambia are not such a big powerhouse, or because you probably feel, it's Guinea after all. Maybe Senegal stand on their own, and whatever they get from that group. So whoever picks the win, the 3 points between Senegal and Cameroon, would have a comfortable advantage in that group. But I think that group is, maybe between Cameroon and Senegal, very easy to call. But it could go either ways. But you feel that Cameroon and Senegal will come out of that group.
Yeah, Austin, Kwame already had it take Senegal and Cameroon. Obviously, that's what the team is going to look like. But when you look at a team like Gambia or Guinea, who are usually very hungry, Naby Keita is still the captain of the team, then it's difficult to actually call, to just write them up. Yes, you have 24 teams that are taking part. Of course, you have opportunity for any of these teams, the best losers, get into the round of 16.
That's right, and that's why you just can't come now and say, oh, it's going to be Senegal and Cameroon. I started my analysis and I was basing it on what happened at the last AFCON yesterday, and I'll do the same tonight. Gambia was in Group F at the last AFCON, and that group had Mali, Tunisia, Mauritania. Gambia was tied at 7 points with Mali. It was goal difference that got Mali to top that group. So if you look at what they did at the AFCON, they started by beating Tunisia. Tunisia had to qualify as best loser, and they went on to beat the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Gambia defeated Tunisia They didn't lose to Mali, and they beat Mauritania. They played 1-1 with Mali. On the bounce of what they did at the last AFCON, even the round of 16 game, you could tell that they put everything they had in them. But this is football where anything can happen. And if Cameroon or Senegal don't start well, I'll tell them that Guinea will also shock them, because Guinea was in the same group B with Cameroon, with Senegal at the last AFCON. And let me remind everybody that has forgotten how Senegal struggled, because they won that AFCON. Everybody thought they were fantastic. No, they weren't. They struggled to finish on top of Group B with 5 points. Guinea was second with 4 points. Malawi was third with 4 points. Zimbabwe finished bottom of the table with 3 points. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, I will still let you know why you cannot just keep away the small teams when you talk about football in Africa. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. We're previewing the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. Special attention tonight is on Group C, and that group has got Cameroon, defending champions, Senegal. There's also Guinea, and surprise package of the last AFCON, Gambia. And we're taking a look at that group and saying to ourselves, what can possibly happen in that group? Opeyemi Akiyade has gone for the favorites. Cameroon can go on to advance, and he has also mentioned the defending champion Senegal. But I'm here to spoil the party by telling people that, look, African football isn't like that anymore. In fact, at the last AFCON, Senegal couldn't beat Guinea. That game ended goalless. That was their second game. In fact, that was their second game that they needed to win that match, Cecilia. After beating Zimbabwe 1-0, they went on to play Guinea. It ended goalless. And then they had to dig so deep to beat in their last game to win 2-1. So you see, it's that difficult at the AFCON. But hey, with the firepower that Senegal has got, the consistency in the team, the coaching crew led by Cisse and Mane, always, turning up big time for his country. You always want to look at Senegal. But I'm saying, if they blink, they already know what Guinea can do. They already know that Gambia is a team that can stun any big team on their good day. So, Opeyemi Akiyade, do you want to change those two teams you said can make it out of Group C?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I'm still going to stick with that. I respect the fact that, African football has its own dynamics. I mean, supposedly smaller teams can just come in and mess things up for you. But in this space, experience would always count. And no disrespect to the Gambia. I mean, you saw how big they were at the last AFCON. But it's more like it's a comfort zone for Senegal and Cameroon. Like I said, the Guinea is going to be in the picture. They may not have the easy run, the easy ride, but you just have a feeling that if you could think Senegal can go all the way, I don't understand why Cameroon cannot go all the way as well.
Okay. I agree with you, but we know Cameroon and their inconsistencies. But Cecilia, hey, let's just mind our business, drink water, and pray for the Super Eagles to do well at the AFCON.
That's it. Enjoy every bit of every game. Yes, time is ticking. Let's just give you, what you need to know, the fixtures, the date for all the games in Group C. And as I mentioned earlier, you have the big one, which is Senegal and Cameroon, where everyone will be looking forward to. Okay, there you have it, Senegal and Gambia. The game will be January 15th. Of course, Cameroon and Guinea will also be in action that same day. Then 19th, Senegal and Cameroon, and you have Guinea and Gambia. This is what the fixture is like in Group C. So fingers crossed, we'll see if the Gambia can actually surprise everyone and finish second like they did in 2021. And they asked me it's going to go down. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Cameroon or even defending champions. All right, so let's end the Nations Cup here. Okay, then 24th. Yes, I was talking about 24th. Okay, so you see, have more of it. You have Gambia and Cameroon, of course, on the 24th, and that same day you have Guinea and Senegal. They will be in action. So that's what it's looking like for this Nations Cup that everyone is anticipating and looking forward to. A spectacle. Yes, that's what it's going to be, because the football excellence in Cote d'Ivoire, where you're going to be seeing all the big teams in action, will be something that all of us will be looking forward to. So, Austin, we're going to end the countdown to the Nations Cup here, because I know we can, use this show to talk about the Africa Cup of Nations, but we have something on the Special Olympics. I mean, their 20th anniversary. Over to you.
I love it so much, Cecilia. And right here at Channels Television, we always support Special Olympics Nigeria because of the special work that they do in promoting social inclusion and empowering young kids with, challenges that on a good day they probably would have given up on life, but sports is just right there to tell them you can do it, you can make a difference. And shout out to everyone at Special Olympics as they mark their 20th anniversary. Changing lives for 20 years is massive. Let's see this report on Special Olympics and their 20th anniversary in Nigeria and all of the good things that they've been doing in promoting social inclusion.
It is the 20th anniversary of the Special Olympics Nigeria. Families, friends, partners, and special athletes gather in Lagos to celebrate milestones achieved by the organization. One after the other, parents of the special athletes share their experiences and seek support for people with intellectual challenges.
My son, by the way, Chidubememua, is a two-time gold medalist. First gold medal in basketball, and he was 9 when I let him go. I mean, it was hard letting a 9-year-old leave and go to camp and everything. But I just told myself, look, I just got to let go and let him try and thrive without me, because independence is also very important. So the team got a gold medal, and then he was the first Nigerian to get a gold medal in cycling. So that's something that we're very proud of, and also the fact that I've traveled with him to all the Special Olympics. We went to Athens, LA, and Abu Dhabi. And it just helps us to get around, and also seeing the way that the athletes support each other. I mean, some athletes will be running together, and somebody's trips, instead of the other person going, they will stop and pick him up. That kind of, just seeing everybody supporting each other was just amazing.
Special Olympics has been, as you know, around for 20 odd years. And my wife and I and our family, we've partnered. And we've worked along with Special Olympics. We thank God it's 20 years, and it's 20 years of success, 20 years of progress. And families may initially feel despondent. They may feel cheated. They may feel, why me, when they have children with special needs or disabilities. My wife and I are both doctors. I'm a neurologist. And in fact, what the problem he has, he was born with Down syndrome. So you can imagine our first child being born with Down syndrome. But we took it on the chin, and I didn't waste time thinking, why me? And we decided that whatever it took, we will give Damola the best possible life experience that he can get.
The chairman of Special Olympics Nigeria, Victor Osibodu, says the organization is committed to promoting social inclusion through year-round sports training and athletic competition.
So as we come together to celebrate 28th year of Special Olympics and to thank God, for the idea, we started in the States. And I remember the first time we met with the international board. And I told them, yes, you might have the brand, but we have the people, and we will deliver for our people. This is the only board in Africa that does not seek funding from international. They're supposed to fund us, but they see the kind of money we raise locally, and they stop funding us. But it doesn't matter, because this is our people, and we're very proud, and to step forward to do what we are doing.
Nigeria!
Since inception, Special Olympics Nigeria has participated in 6 World Games and has won 231 medals, comprising 108 gold, 82 silver, and 41 bronze.
Wow, I love it. I love it so much. Sports indeed has got the power to transform lives. Seeing those kids with intellectual challenges, but sports is giving them a whole new beginning. And shout out to everyone that has supported Special Olympics Nigeria, particularly the parents. I saw Chidubem's mom.
Yeah.
Chidubem was a superstar at the early edition, and I love it so much. Well done, 20th anniversary. I want to join them, Cecilia, to say congratulations, and they should keep the fire burning.
Yeah, that's what sports would do. No matter who you are, you always have a place in sports. That's what it does to everyone. All right, let's move to NPFL games for this weekend. Is match day. 14. Yes, Saturday, Sunday. We'll just quickly run through the games for this weekend before we talk about the Super Sunday. All right, now we look at Abia Warriors, Shooting Stars, Enugu Rangers, Sporting Lagos, Heartland, Akwa United, Kano Pillars, and Remo Stars. So these are fixtures for Sunday. Abia Warriors, Shooting Stars, Enugu Rangers hosting Sporting Lagos and Heartland against Akwa United and Kano Pillars and Remo Stars. Now this is a tricky one. Let's flip over to other games for the weekend. Kwara United will be up against Niger Tornadoes. Lobby Stars and Doma United is another game to look forward to. Now this is going to be a big one because Doma United right now, they're second, Remo Stars are top, Lobby Stars have dropped to 3rd place. Plateau United and Bayelsa United will also be in action. Sunshine Stars and Gobe United will complete this for the weekend. Austin, I'll start off with you. We're going to take a pick. Pick 1, 2, 1 game, Doma and Lobby Stars.
Yeah, I think that's a good game to monitor, and that's because Lobby Stars, they've shown some consistency. They're second on the log. Doma, they're third on the log. Doma is second. Doma, I think, going for their 4th consecutive win, and on the road they've been decent, picking up 0-0 results here and there. So let's see what they can do against Lobby Stars. They've shown that they can compete. They've shown that they're not respecting any of the big boys. They just want to do their thing in the league. And that's why they have, gotten eyeballs placed on them. Doma United will definitely, want to prove a point against Lobby Stars. I'd like to see what Remo Stars can do against Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars are still trying to recover from what happened, that 1-0 defeat to Doma United. They would want to, ensure they don't record back-to-back defeats or even drop some more points, because now it's looking intense. Teams are beginning to define their position on the table, and we know Remo Stars and the ambition that they've got. They are on top of the log. They don't want to drop that leadership, so that makes that encounter a feisty one. I just hope that they will give us good football. And if you'd ask me, the top pick, no, I'm not going to talk about Akwa United. I'm still pissed at what they're doing this season. I'd like to see what Shooting Stars can do against Abia Warriors. Those are 2 decent teams. They're also in search of points. So Abia Warriors losing their last match against Eimba. What can they do against Shooting Stars? It's a home match for them. Shooting Stars on the road, they haven't been that convincing. Maybe they might just use this one, to get their campaign back on track, Cecilia.
Yeah, it's possible. Okay, which one is going to pick? I know when I mentioned Doma United and Lobby Stars, we were smiling.
Yeah, certainly one of the big games for the weekend because of the position of both teams on the table. But I'm also looking forward to Plateau United and Bayelsa United. Plateau United are under a new manager. They've gotten some decent results on the road this season. They played a goalless draw. At their last match against Niger Tornadoes, they won 3-2 away from home. So they come back to the just new stadium, and they certainly want to continue for where they stopped or where they are at the present of the season. They're 6th position on the table, and if they're able to beat Bayelsa United, they push up just 1 point adrift of the top 4. So I'm really super excited about the league this season. There's been changing. Lobby Stars at some point, Remo Stars, even Sporting Lagos were all up at the start of the season. Somebody said maybe all of the razzmatazz at the stadium is over, but I'm really super excited. So for Niger Tornadoes, they need to make a statement. They lost at home the last time out. They play against Kwara United, but Lobby Stars, Doma United, certainly. Doma United, they have certainly been the biggest surprise for us this season. They beat Kano Pillars, and they didn't just beat Kano Pillars, they played Kano Pillars, and it was such a very deserved 1-0 victory. Yeah. So I think at the point, they probably were like, okay, whatever we get at the end of this season, Lobby Stars also are looking over their shoulders. Hey, anybody is coming from somewhere. Anybody still have a game in hand ahead of all of them. They play 12 games. Yeah. So either ways, everybody wants to maintain where they are. But for me, the big game for the weekend is certainly Lobby Stars and Doma United.
Yeah, that's the game I'm looking forward to because we've seen what Doma United have been doing so far this season. But we'll leave the NPFL and quickly go to England. The Premier League, so many games this weekend, and of course, is a loaded package this weekend. Bournemouth and Luton will be in action. Chelsea will welcome Sheffield United. Manchester City will also welcome Crystal Palace. Newcastle United and Fulham, and Burnley and Everton will also be in action. Let's look at all the games for Sunday. Arsenal and Brighton. Brighton is a very unpredictable team. Brentford and Aston Villa was to be in action. Aston Villa, kind of a team right now. You're looking at top four, you're seeing Aston Villa right there. West Ham and Wolves will also be in action. And Liverpool and Manchester United. Yes, this is the focus for this weekend because both actually lost, in Europe. Yes, Liverpool, they lost to Union. They've already qualified, but they lost 2-1. Manchester United needed to win, but they lost to Bayern. And of course, they also lost to Bournemouth at the weekend, 3-0. So these two teams are the teams to look out for. But before we start with the analysis of this game, let's first of all listen to Erik ten Hag talking ahead of the game against Liverpool, what they should expect from the game.
Because I'm here to win and I have to make the team play better. And if you play good, even then I say good is not good enough. And so now we are inconsistent. So I have to work on that. The team is going to play in a for longer periods in a higher level. That we will put out a team who can challenge, a team who is confident to win that game. So we're preparing the team in the best way we can, and we are confident that we put out a team who can win there. The future for Man United, I think, is very good. If you see how many good players we have in the squad, how many good young players we have in the squad, and who have a really high potential to play top levels worldwide, but we have to develop that. And so I'm sure when the injury is getting back, that this team will perform better. I think everyone is highly motivated when you go to Anfield. It's a great place to go. It's going to be tough. And I think that is everything what every top footballer wants. He wants to have that challenge. So you have to looking forward. And last year, of course, we take that in our memory. But you have to also take the benefit from it, learn from it, and on Sunday we can prove that.
Interesting. You just listened to Ten Hag. You were shaking your head because, this is a coach who he came with so much swag, but right now, United precarious situation. But remember that 7-0 victory, so he's saying that doesn't happen all the time. And of course, he's got the squad to be able to see if they can get a result. That result is needed away from home. I
hope it doesn't happen again. Manchester United have just been a shadow of themselves.
Yeah.
Erik ten Hag's first season, you could make a lot of excuses for him. The old Cristiano Ronaldo drama, the missing Greenwood drama, the ownership of the club. But instead of the second season, they returned to the Champions League when you think a club of Manchester United status should actually play. But Manchester United could not even secure the second tier of European football or the third tier of European football in a group that had Copenhagen and Galatasaray. You could make an excuse for Newcastle. They had PSG, they had Dortmund, they had AC Milan. But look at the group of Manchester United. So they really need to get back. They defeated Chelsea 2-1 at Old Trafford. We thought that, okay, maybe the good energy is coming back. But the following day, 3 days later, they lost at home to Bournemouth by 3-0. Unfortunately for them, Bayern came back. Bayern also lost 5 goals, so they really needed to make a statement. And they played the game of their life at Old Trafford. Manchester United lost. So I really don't know where it's going to go to. And Liverpool are sitting on top of the log right now. they know that if they win Manchester United, it's a strong signal to every other team around them that, hey, you may think Arsenal is going to compete with the league title for Man City, but we're also in the mix. But funny enough, for me, the match I'm looking forward to this weekend is actually Newcastle Fulham. As against everybody's expectations. Fulham in their first 14 games scored 16 goals.
Yeah.
In their last 2 games, they've scored 10. Alex Iwobi is in a world of his own and are getting the goals and the assists. For Newcastle, they got knocked out of Europe. They will certainly want to also get back. And remember, they lost to Everton 3 goals to nothing. So I'm really looking forward to that game. But of course, the big game has to be Liverpool, Manchester United. The biggest, a lot of people don't even know that Man City is not Man U's biggest rival. They're just City rivals. Man U's eternal rival is Liverpool. And they would certainly want to make a statement with that game on Sunday.
Yeah, 7-0 bashing. That doesn't happen all the time. Austin, I mean, when Jurgen Klopp was talking at his press conference, he mentioned that when he alluded to the 7-0 victory, it's not something that you get to see all the time because Manchester United is a team. You really can't predict what they will come up with. Expectations this weekend, no other games.
At the moment, it seems they are predictable. It seems teams know how to beat Manchester United. He's doing a great job, Ten Hag. I think his mental health should be studied. He's doing a great job when he comes in front of the press. You know, he's calm. He's speaking with so much optimism. He's uplifting his team. He's been facing so much troubles, but he's been able to keep his cool, you know, and see how he can keep this Manchester United together. Because at the moment with the results, they are disjointed. They are everywhere. How can you explain losing to Bournemouth 3-0 at Old Trafford when you know you got a crucial upcoming Champions League match, and then right after that match you're going to play Liverpool that are on top of the table and will do everything to stay there because they know that Arsenal will come with every firepower to beat Brighton. So it's difficult with the kind of results that they've gotten in their last 2 matches. It's tough for Manchester United. They lost to Bournemouth right after beating Chelsea 2-1. Before then, they lost to Newcastle 1-0. Before that match, they played 3-3 with Galatasaray. So when you have those sort of inconsistent results and teams are now finding ways to destroy a defense line, we don't know what's going to happen with Harry Maguire being sidelined now due to a groin injury. It's tough. With Liverpool, the objective is straightforward. Manchester is not the Manchester United that we know. So go out there and get the results, you know. And that's what Jurgen Klopp and his team, they've been saying, that they don't see it as any Super Sunday. They like where they are right now on top of the table. I think in the last 4 Premier League games, 2 away wins, 2 home wins. They're doing just fine. So they would just want to come out, give that game all of the attention that they need to give it, beat Manchester United and still stay on top of the league table, because once Manchester City starts winning, you know the rest. They're unstoppable. So Eric Ten Hag, I'm so sorry. I don't see how they're going to do it. Well, it's football where anything can happen.
All right.
But this is Anfield, where the fans will come out so loud. This is Liverpool that are beginning to enjoy the sort of football they're playing at the moment. They are winning difficult matches. They had to dig deep to beat Crystal Palace in their last game at Selhurst Park. Now they have an opportunity to consolidate on top of the table. Eric Ten Hag, it's going to be tough. Let's not forget that there's a game going on right now in the English Premier League, the game between Nottingham Forest and Tottenham Hotspur, and it's goalless. Cecilia, I think it's time to go. Tell me to leave.
Yeah, you have to go. I was going to tell you to get out.
That's the show in London. I'm Austin. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Akpeyemi, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Cecilia, for having me, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, thank you so much for watching. We're going to leave it with Jurgen Klopp. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a fantastic weekend.